Hey guys, how's it going? Professor Shuckle here, and today I'm going to go over my run for Clash of Kings Season 4 Team Tour. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded. In fact, I think the last video I uploaded was the roster analysis for Clash of Kings Season 3, which was like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I decided to just record my run for this season of Clash of Kings as well. Mostly out of boredom because I've finished all the books at home I can, and Titans is still 2 weeks away. So I don't really have a lot to do after work. And it's been raining, so I can't really go out. So yeah, I just decided to, record my fun little cup run as usual. And yours truly is the LC innovator. And yeah, I thought I'll just record my games and showcase some of the heat techs I brought this season. So just a quick overview. I'm not gonna go as in depth as I usually do, but I signed up at the very last minute for Clash of Kings. Wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it because I was playing in some other stuff at the time. But I did decide to sign up at the last minute, and then I ended up going to King L5 and Money Guy. A reunion after Tangang, so after like 2 years. And yeah, and for this season, as usual, I ended up playing Little Cup. So without much further ado, let's just jump into our week 1 battle versus Phil of the Mighty Mealers. And for this week, we're up against a team of Drillbur, Alolan Rattata, Coughing, Cutie Fly, Score Bunny, and Sunkern. There was a Pancham and a Totodile on the bench, so this team was a lot scarier than it looks at the moment. And as for ourselves, we're rocking up with the Shell Smash, Knockoff, Aerial Ace, Stealth Rock, Dwebble with Bearjuice, just because there's no Flying Resist on the team, so didn't really need stabs. We're running a Focus Sash Abra with Psychic Terrain plus 3 attacks, Scarf Chinchou with Scald, Volt Switch, Surf, Dazzling Gleam, so we're actually walled by the Sunkern. Very defensive Drifloon, like I think max Bedef and a lot of defense as well, with Will-O-Wisp, Knockoff, Acrobatics, Recycle. We didn't have a Fairy Resist on the team, so Life Orb Cutify was a bit of a threat. So Drifloon's our answer to that, because it chews a Moonblast really easily, and then goes back to full, and now we can Acrobatics the Cutify, because we have faster After and Burden. Next up, we have our heat set of the week, I guess, which is Unburdened Purloin with Focus Sash, Knockoff, Play Rough, Encore, and Thunderwave. This is our dedicated lead for the game. If Cutify leads, we can just Thunderwave it, and then knock off after. Or Thunderwave and then Encore if it clicks webs. And if it attacks, we can just Thunderwave and then knock off. Or, get up to whatever. It also works versus the Pancham, because we don't really have a Pancham switch in. I mean, it didn't come, but Pancham was a big threat. And so we can stand on the Pancham knockoff, and if the Pancham decides to knock off, we could just Encore it and Play Rough. And this way we can also hit the Rat, because if you're a Prankster, we can't really copycat hit it. So yeah, a bit of a dedicated lead just to mess up the start for him. And then we have a very defensive Eviolite Gossifleur as our Drillbur check. It has Rapid Spin, Stun Spore, Giga Drain, and Aromatherapy, I believe. So yeah, let's jump into the game. Oops, sorry about that. As I said, I was going to leave Purloin as the Dooley Cutify. Expecting webs, I just clicked Thunderwave. But he makes the switch into Drillbur, I guess. He didn't want his Cutify getting paralyzed. Because I could be Prankster, right? I've mostly only run Prankster Purloin, and that's kind of what it does. So he goes into Drillbur. Usually I used to knock this off in mocks, but something in my heart told me to swap out here. And so I make the swap, deciding to save my beloved Purloin, and going to Gossifleur and chew up that Earthquake. And now I can fire off a free Stun Spore as he goes into Score Bunny and reveals the Safety Goggles. A good prep by him. But because he's not a Life Orb, he actually cannot kill my Drifloon with any hit. And I can eat anything from him and go back to full with Berry Juice. and then knock off acrobatics, whatever I want to do. I can play some mind games with the sucker punch as well because I can recycle, go back to full, and then sucker punch doesn't kill me from full. So yeah, but he ends up clicking Sunny Day, and then I had to pause for a bit to calc that I didn't die to a Blaze Kick, and I didn't. I chewed it up because Drifloon's pretty fat. And unfortunately, he misses the Blaze Kick. I did live it, and I would go back to full and then be faster the following turn and kill him with acrobatics because I also lived the sucker punch. But definitely sucks for him because he doesn't know my set. But he clicks it again, and as you can see, we do chew, and then we go back to full, and we hit him with the acro. That crit did not matter. It died because we base 110 acro. In comes Sunkern, and I was like, I don't know why this is here, but its max speed is 13. We hit 15. So with Unburden, we were 30, and Chlorophyll it's only 26, so we just take it out. I was worried about Sash Sunspore for a bit, but I didn't really have a play because nothing else on my team really took it on. And I did have Sash Purloin anyway if it did paralyze my Drifloon, and Aromatherapy on Gossifleur. So yeah, we're able to take out 2 months already. In comes the Coughing, we can just knock it off as he clicks Thunderbolt. And here I decided to spam Recycle, thinking 56 might be like a higher roll. But he ends up critting the next one, so I just Recycled spam again. But then slowly realized this doesn't help me a lot, because so I just decided to take my chip on this and get Acro and just lose my Drifloon, and I can go into Chinchou. There's no War Resist on this team, so I can fire up for free Surf and pick up my kill. In comes the Rat, and I can go freely into my Dwebble because my Bear Juice is intact. So yeah, I chew that up, go back to full, and here I believe I just smash as he does swap out into the Drillbur, and here I go for the knockoff as he is pretty defensive with the Violet, and he lives and kills us with Earthquake, which is fine. I can go into my Abra and pick up my free kill by clicking Dazzle. In comes Rat. Since I have my Sash intact, I just click Dazzle again as he makes the U-turn play into Cutie and you're able to chunk it for a bit. And then here I just risk the speed tie, but he clicks U-turn, and I was fine with that. And here I can go into my Purloin because I have my Sash intact, so I can click Knockoff for free as he goes into Cutie and dies. And now, because of Unburden, I will be faster than the Rat, so my safest way of victory is just to knock off his Scarf and then win with win with Chinchou, sorry. Or even Gossifleur, because Gossifleur lives any hit from this, in case he were to crit like Sucker Punch versus Chinchou, for example. But I knock off, and, Purloin's the GOAT, so he just dodges the double edge. And now I can casually click Player Off and take him out. And Purloin refuses to die, and we take the week 1 game 3-0. A little unfortunate with the hacks, but I don't really think it mattered. At least my opponent didn't complain, so... And yeah, we ended up winning, and our whole team as a whole won 7-0. So that was a really good start to our season. Nice 7-0 for a good morale booster. I don't know if I've been on a winning team like on week 1 in previous seasons of Clash. For those who don't know, I'm kind of cursed in Clash as well, where I've not made playoffs in the previous 3 seasons. So kind of looking to change that. But yeah, that was a good start to this tour, and let's jump on to the second one. Week 2, we were up against Trickify, captained by my good buddy Skyhorse. Originally, I was supposed to play Takedo, who was the Season 2 MVP, but he had to sub out, and Kalt had to make like a really last-minute team. But Kalt's also a really good player, has had phenomenal success in Clash of Kings. So yeah, it should be an exciting game. For this week, we're up against Gale of Farfetch, Mudbraze, Slowpoke, Magby, Elekid, Gossifleur, and I believe there's a Zorua on the bench. I don't remember the other one. I think it was an Unmon. And for this week, we're pulling up with a different draft, probably my favorite one because it's more balanced, which is what I usually prefer. So we're running up with Tortuga, which is Shell Smash, Ice Beam, Knockoff, Aqua Jet with a Violet, Toxic Spikes, Trubbish with Recycled, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain. There was no Grounded Poison on the team, so T-Spike's chip was really good for chipping down the team. We're really interesting Turtwig, which I guess is our heat of the week for this week, which is Stockpile, Sword Stance, Facade, Synthesis. There was no normal resist on the team, And after a stockpile, which we can easily set up on Gossifleur, we eat hits from like almost everything. Like Flare Blitz from unboosted mag, we only did like 43 or something because we also have Violate. And then we can get a Sword Stance up and then Double Edge. I was initially Double Edge, but I kept getting burned by Flare Blitz and Mox, so I switched it up to Facade. And we can just start doing damage. We can also then, like, if Slowpoke burns us with Scald, then Facade just goes in. Also, we can set up on like the Mudbray because the Mudbray is probably going to swap to be healthy for like the Trubbish or whatever. So yeah, that's a Turtwig. I was really happy with it when like it came out. Usually it did not sweep, but it usually took out like 1 or 1.5 months, which was like a worthy trade because Turtwig's not like and powerhouse. We just Scarf Wingle on this build with like Air Slash, Hurricane, Skull, U-turn, I believe. 4 attack Sandshrew with like Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Leash Life, Earthquake. Didn't really think I needed Rocks because I wasn't really able to keep them up in Mox because the Gossifleur always spun and I thought T-Spikes were more valuable than Rocks. So yeah, I just I did not have Rocks on this build at all. And then Scraggy, which was Choice Scarf with Knockoff, Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, and Fake Out. Couldn't really think of another move on the last slot, so I just put Fake Out because it helps with like Fake Out plus Toxic Spikes chip. I guess I could have been Facade because there's like a Magby and Elekid. But yeah, I just put Fake Out and it was pretty. Oh, I was Fake Out because Craggy was supposed to be my dedicated lead if the Zorua came, and I can just click Fake Out turn 1. And figure out what the Zorua is when what the Farfetch'd is, because I was really scared of Zorua disguised as Farfetch'd because my check to Farfetch'd is Prey, Telegraphed, and Trubbish. But if it is a Zorua in disguise and it clicks Nasty Plow, then I'm kind of in trouble. So yeah, that's why I wanted early knowledge on what the Zorua is, so I was Fake Out Craggy. So yeah, but seeing the Zorua, I decided just to Wingle because like Wingle's pretty free here as well. And yeah, let's jump into this. I lead Wingle as he leads Elekid, so I get the lead wrong, but I can just go Sandshrew. I do live like a Life Orb Ice Punch and go back to full. As he clicks Volt, which is good, so like we don't lose momentum, and here I can just click a free Knockoff as the Gossifleur does come in. We don't kill this with Leash Life yet, so I go into Turtwig as he clicks the Giga Drain, and here, expecting a Pull and Puff, I just click the Stockpile. And as you can see, this Pull and Puff is going to do like no damage at all. Yep, absolutely nothing. And here, I believe I clicked the Sword Stance, expecting the Magby to come in, but he goes hard into the Farfetch'd, which I didn't really want to take, so I go into Trubbish, which eats the Brave Bird, and as he reveals Life Orb, which is good to know that we can chip it down pretty easily as I click my free T-Spikes as the Mudbray comes in. I go Sandshrew, expecting Rocks, as he does click Rocks, and I can spin them away. As the Mudbray decides to stay in and click Earthquake, but we eat our Berry Juice and go back to full, and now I can knock off the Mudbray so he doesn't get his Berry Juice. I am giving him stamina, but it should be okay because he cannot recover this damage. He clicks Double Edge, which is an interesting bring. I guess we also didn't have a pretty good normal resist, but we have weakened the Mudbray to like... so basically, we traded Sandshrew for Mudbray, which like kind of sucks because we did... Elekid's a lot scarier now, but we do keep Rocks off, which is really good for Wingle, and like Trubbish as well for like taking less chip. So yeah, I take the kill with Trubbish. In comes the Slowpoke. I believe it just recycled here because I do live a Psychic from defensive Slowpoke. As he clicks Teleport and goes into Elekid. And here, scouting for the Psychic, I go into Scraggy. As he just clicks Volt, I guess Volt was really free, and goes into Magby. Here, I can't let him set up, so I went for the High Jump Kick, but he reveals to be Life Orb Mach Punch. But we do live because Scraggy is a fat boy. And yeah, we're able to click High Jump Kick and take out the Magby. And here we can switch into Turtwig as he does Volt, so he's not letting his Elekid take chip, basically. And he goes into Farfetch, but we have pretty free Trubbish here as he makes the double into Slowpoke. And here I just decide to Giga Drain because I do know I live a Psychic. As you can see, it does 81, so I live it and go back to full. And here, expecting him to swap, I click Recycle, but he clicks Psychic and gets the high roll, I think. Not the end of the world, a little annoying. But I used this opportunity to go into Tortuga and Shell Smash, and I should live any hit from this. Thunderwave would be annoying, but we would still be faster than Slowpoke. and Gossifleur because they're both slow, and I can Aqua Jet, take out the Farfetch'd, and get chip on the Elekid anyway. But he clicks Kalt and luckily doesn't get the burn, so we're able to just knock off the Slowpoke. And the Gossifleur was in range of Ice Beam as well because it had been knocked. So he goes Elekid, which is faster than Tortuga because he. Well, I didn't know if he was Scarf or not, but I assumed he would be Scarf for this. So I just clicked Aqua Jet. And if he wasn't Scarf, then, my Scraggy and Wingull could take this out later anyway. So I click Aqua Jet as he clicks Volt Switch and takes out, but he is really chipped and he is actually in Fake Out range. As he goes Gossifleur, and I use this to go into Wingull, and he doesn't really have a switch into the flying move, right? But Air Slash didn't actually kill this, so I decided to go for the risky Hurricane. Not really sure why, maybe I was flexing, I don't know. I go for Hurricane and miss, but luckily it doesn't hurt us too much because he didn't click Sleep Powder, which I guess could have been a little annoying. But we hit our next one, so we get like the kill there. And yeah, we can go into Turtwig now as the Elekid Volt switches. And here I'm just gonna sack my Turtwig, but he decides to click Sword Stance, maybe because he thought he could, I guess to cover the hard Wingull play, because if he SDs, then he has a shot to kill with Quick Attack. So I guess covering that play, because if I went hard Wingull on the CC, or actually I'm not really sure, but anyway, it works out. Obviously, if you were not Fake Out, we do lose to double Volt Switch, but we are carrying this card Fake Out, and we're able to, safely take out the Elekid and win the game 2-0. Pretty close, but we're actually in command. Like, I know it is really close on paper, but in like LC, you don't really see a lot of like high differential games, and I felt pretty much in control throughout. Like the Toxic Spikes did their work, and like everyone traded with what it was supposed to trade, so it worked out really well for us. So yeah, we win 2-0, and our team ended up winning this week 4-3 or 5-2. I don't remember. I know there were a couple of Haxi games, and we should have probably lost this week. But we got a little fortunate, and we definitely take those. Like, no team's perfect. Like they all, every good team has its moments of luck. So yeah, it's a good 2-0 start, and obviously we're looking to go 3-0 into mids. So yeah, let's just jump into our week 3 game. So unfortunately, I didn't end up playing my week 3 game due to some unfortunate circumstances. I was slotted in to play, but I had to sub out. So FireFin took over, who's the GOAT, and I decided I would show this game just because I did build the team. I had the team ready and I had mocked with it, and I believe FireFin used the team I made as is. I don't believe he made any changes. I could be wrong though, but so yeah. Anyway, for this week, the team we are facing consists of Reserves Kit, Urchin, Grimer, Meowth, Saint, Shrew, Farfetch'd. I believe there was a Tailo on this as well. There's definitely another Mon which is very threatening on their roster, which did not come, because I believe I didn't see a lot of Source Kit in mocks. Although it is carried because we don't have swap-ins to it in rain. And as for us, we're running with an Eviolite Pawniard with 4 moves. Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Psycho Cut. I believe it's like our Meowth check. We're running Scarf Cutie Fly with like Psychic, Moonblast, Webs, U-Turn, I believe. Scarf, Utility, Snivy. The Scarf was just there because I don't really know what item to put on it, but it was basically like just Leaf Storm, Knockoff, Defog, Glare. Drillbur was Berry Juice, Sword Stains, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Rock Slide. It was really good because they didn't have a Grass type at all, which means they resist to Earthquake, where Surge Kid, which doesn't really take it that well, and Archon, which dies to the Rock Slide after. So yeah, but there's a different reason for having this offensive Drillbur on the team, which I'll get to in a bit. Next, we have a very defensive Gulpin. What's like attack investment too, and it was like Eviolite or check to Farfetch'd with like Power Up Punch, Explosion, Gunk Shot, Bullet Seed, I believe. And lastly, the star of the show, Ammonite or Lord Helix Jr. With the Power Herb Meteor Beam Weak Armor set, which I used to run on Kabuto. And we're running it on Ammonite this time with the Meteor Beam, Hydro Pump, Earth Power Spikes, I believe. So the point of this is, if we can get our drill burst set up with +2, +1, so basically a Source Stance and a Rapid Spin, he is kind of forced to go into Meowth to revenge it. And he's kind of forced to click Fake Out into Feint, because Fake Out, just like Feint, doesn't kill. So what we do is we swap on the Fake Out into Ammonite. We take the Weak Armor boost to +2, and then we click a free Meteor Beam, right? If he goes hard Farfetch'd, Meteor Beam into Hydro Pump takes it out. So basically anything will die. Actually, they had something with Sucker Punch, which they didn't bring, I think, because that's what the spikes were for. Was it a Poniard that they had that they didn't bring? I can't remember, but they definitely had something that had Sucker Punch, which is why I had spikes on it. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into the battle. Keep having music on, which is annoying. But yeah, we decided to leave Poniard. We get that wrong again, but we can easily go into our Gulpin as he does click the Close Combat. And here I believe we just click the Gunk as in comes the Sandshrew, and we can go into Snivy, expecting the rocks, but he clicks Knock, which is fine, I think, because oh, here FireFin makes the amazing double into the Drillbur, expecting the Grimer, which is what happens. And we can click our free Sword Stance here. I don't know if we Rapid Spawn. Oh, we just Earthquake as he knocks off because he is a Violet, so he lives. But now we can Rapid Spin and kill. And now we have +2, +1, the exact situation I described. In comes the Meowth because he has no other play. Farfetch dies, Grimer dies, Surskit dies, Archon dies, right? At worst, Archon and Surskit can be Scarf and Speed Tie, but that's not a thing you really want to do. So now we can go free into Ammonite as in comes the Fake Out, we get the Weak Armor boost, and it's time for the Meteor Beam, right? In comes the Grimer as we click the Meteor Beam with the Power Herb, and it's gone because it's Berry Juice. In comes the Surskit, which I didn't really prep for because I didn't think it was coming, so maybe I should have been Ancient Power. But yeah, we click the Surf, but he is the Oranberry Hydro, but we do live. And we click Surf again, and I believe he's Rain Dance. And we don't really have swaps for this, and it's faster than everything, so we're forced to go into Poniard, but expecting like a sub, FireFin makes the go-to play of clicking Knockoff, so he's just the goat. I don't know if I would make that play. I would probably do click Sucker. So yeah, FireFin's just the goat. He's just better. And I click Sucker Punch, and we can take out the Surskit. In comes the Farfetch. We can go back into our Gulpin. As he does click Brave Bird, I believe we just boom here, right? Or do we click Ice Punch? I'm not sure. Oh, we click Ice Punch, predicting the Archon as he reveals to be Sword Stance, and then just takes out our Gulpin, which is fine because we can go anything to revenge basically, but he decides to go Drillbur, and clicks Earthquake and takes it out. We were defensive, so we love the quick attack, and comes Meowth, and we can just sack our Drillbur to this, and kind of take away his Fake Out as in comes the Archon. We are a Violet, so we live. We are faster, so I guess this Archon was supposed to be bulkier, because we were 16 speed, so yeah, we get rid of the Archon. I don't know if the crit mattered. Archon's not that, well, Ponyard's strong, and Archon's not that bulky. And here we can click the Sucker Punch as he clicks U-turn, but I don't think Meowth gets anything to touch Poniard, so yeah, GG. Another pretty solid 3-0 win. Great showing from FireFin. And yeah, we got to see the Weak Armor Meteor Beam Ammonite in action, and you know, we love Meteor Beam around here. I believe we ended up winning this week 5-2, so we went into mid 3-0, which was, you know, a bit of a relief to me, because the other 3 seasons, I believe, I always ended up being like 1-2 or 0-3, I believe. So this was a nice change of pace, which also meant we didn't really need to change much with our team in terms of like roster changes. We did fix the teams a little bit, which I'll show in the next week battle, where we are up against Inversify, another certified LC GOAT. I believe he ended, he was on the winning team season 1, and he's just really good in LC, has a pretty stellar record leagues and tours. So yeah, anyway, he was on the Meteor Mashers, who had a pretty solid roster as well. And he's pulling up with his Hail team, which is pretty solid Hail team with Timber, Alolan Sandshrew, Snover, Ekans, Tailo, Nosepass. I don't remember what this had. I think this had something else which didn't show up, which is really annoying for my team, but I can't remember right now. Oh, I think this had a Goldeen. I believe this had a Goldeen. Yeah. They had a Goldeen as like their electric immune. Anyway, for this week, our matchup was kind of rough because, you know, Chinchai into Goldeen is kind of really tough, and we didn't really have much for Hail because our fighting type does not get like Vacuum Wave or Mach Punch. But anyway, I think we have a pretty cool team as well. So starting off, we have an offensive Chinchou with Agility, Scald, Blizzard, Dazzling Gleam, I believe. The Blizzard just we do live like hits from Snover, so and with rocks up, and we can definitely do some, you know, damage with Dazzle and Blizzard and Scald. Like outside of Goldeen, he doesn't really have good switch-ins to it, so yeah. That's the Chinchou. It does live a hit from Alolan Sandshrew, I believe. I think it was a Violet. I'm not. Maybe I don't remember. I think it was a Violet. We have Scarfabra with Psychic, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, Fire Punch, I believe. Scarf ties with Jolly, Alolan Sandshrew, and Hail, and this is kind of like our last Hail Mary. Otherwise, it's kind of good anyway because the Psychic resist is Alolan Sandshrew. So Psychic is pretty free. It's just there's a lot of priority in this team. There's Mach Punch, Timber, Ice Shard, Alolan Sandshrew, Ice Shard, Snover, Sucker Punch, Ekans, Quick Attack, Tailo. So it's a little annoying, but it kind of gives us a last chance. You know, if everything goes wrong, we do have a Scarfabra that can potentially speed tie and give us a chance 50% of the time. Next up, we have another Sash Purloin, but this time it is Prankster, not Unburden, because I thought having it around for later might be okay. But again, it was a guaranteed lead as usual, and it was supposed to be knockoff, Yawn, Play Rough, Encore, I believe. Something like that. Our Stuffle, which is like, I guess, our Hita Fajita for this week, was Adrenaline Orb, Sword Stance, 3 attacks, which are Double Edge, Zen Headbutt, and Low Sweep. The idea behind this was if you can bring it in on like Sandshrew or Snover after a sack, his most likely switch in to Stuffle, because he doesn't really have a lot, is going to be Ekans to get the Intimidate off. And so we use our Adrenaline Orb to up our speed, and I don't really expect Scarf Tailo in this matchup. If it comes, like, I expect Quick Attack, Life Orb, or like Flame Orb, Guts, whatever. So that would mean our Stuffle's faster than it because we hit 14 speed normally, so we can be 21. And yeah, we can hopefully take down 2 or 3 Mons with us with the combination of Low Sweep, Double Edge, and Zen, which he doesn't really have swap-ins for. So that's the idea behind Stuffle, to maybe take 2 or 3 down so that our other potential win cons can have a shot at winning. Next up, Dwebble, which is Shell Smash, Knockoff, Earthquake, and Rocks. Rocks are really important to get the chip we need on mons like the Sandshrew, Tailo, to know Snover item and stuff. So yeah, that was a Dwebble set. It's our only switch into Ekans. Even though we get glared, it is our best bet because we don't really have a poison resist on the team. And then lastly, we have an offensive Spritzy with Nasty Plot, Trick Room, Psychic, Thunderbolt. The Spritzy I used to run in Season 2 of Clash. But except we don't have Draining Kiss because, Draining Kiss doesn't really do a lot, and I kind of need to kill things and not, because everything will kill the Spritzy here, which is not like the older teams where, they don't kill the Spritzy, so I can just heal up and then be out of hits. But here, I kind of need to do killing really quickly, so I am just Psychic, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's just the best hit for Sandshrew because unfortunately Spritzy doesn't get a lot, and Psychic hit the Ekans and Timber in a one, so I kept it while still outgoing the Tailo and the Goldeen at +2. So yeah, let's jump into this. Oops. As I said, I was gonna lead off Purloin, but I never saw an Ekans lead because usually it would be in the back for Stuffle. So the Ekans lead, I guess it's fair from him because we don't have his poison resist. It was a little annoying, and I didn't really want the Intimidate on my Purloin because now I don't do damage to this. So I decided to preserve my sash and go into double. As he clicks gunk and misses, which is actually good for us because we keep our sturdy, so I just decide to get up rocks, expecting glare, as he does glare. And this turn I decide to smash. As he does go into timber, we do have our sturdy intact, so I can click the knockoff and get rid of the Violite. As he does click knockoff as well. We do die to Mach Punch depending on his nature and investment, but for some reason he doesn't click it, so we're able to click Earthquake and take him out, which is pretty epic. I guess if he got the gunk off, this wouldn't have happened because he would have just knocked into Mach Punch, guaranteed kill. But because he missed, we were able to get rid of the timber, which is actually pretty good because that's one like priority gone from the game. In comes the Tailo, I wasn't really. I mean, I thought maybe he had like Boom Burst or whatever. But he clicks the Protect to get the Flame Orb and then kills us with Facade, which is fine because he does take like, you know, the 5%. But I guess he would have taken that anyway if he was Life Orb. Here I can go Chin Chow. He doesn't know what I am, so I just click. I believe I just clicked Raw Blizzard actually, expecting the Snower because there was no Goldeen. But he is Bejuice, but I don't really have a swap to this, so I click Blizzard thinking he might just click his own Blizzard. But he does click Giga Drain, which is a little annoying. But we do end this interaction with the Snover still like not at full and lower than it would have been with Rocks Up. So here I can go into Stuffle because the Snover has a real, it's not Icy Rock, and my Stuffle can obviously be faster, right? So if he gives up the Snover, then his Sandshrew will not have Hail for the rest of the game, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to preserve it to have Hail in the back end. Because in case I was like Sunny Day, Purloin or something, then he doesn't have speed control, right? Because he already revealed he's not Scarf Tailo. So I go into Stuffle and click the Sword Stance, expecting the Ekans as that's what happens as we get our +1. And I know he's revealed an Inviolate already, and the other, this could have been Inviolate. So if it was Inviolate, it does live with Double Edge, but Inviolate Ekans does die to +1 Zen Headbutt. So I clicked the Zen Headbutt because I didn't know if he was a Violite or not, and I couldn't tell what the other Violite would be. It could have been Sandshrew. Nosepass was likely to be Betelgeuse, and we knew and Snower was already the other Betelgeuse, so I thought maybe Sandshrew is a Violite. I wasn't sure which one of these had the Violite, basically. So it could have been either one. So I clicked the Zen, but he turns out to be the Payapa, which I guess covers the Abra Psychic, so you can Thief or Sucker Punch, whatever, safely. And is able to live and glare us, which kind of sucks. If I was Earthquake, this, would have been dead. But I changed this to Zen last minute because it covered the Timber in one, as well as covering the Tailo, because you can always make a play of going hard Tailo expecting the Earthquake. So this covered that. And yeah, unfortunately, we don't kill the Ekans. So, but we do dodge the Gunk, which, I mean, kind of sucks for him. I don't think it would have changed the end game much, but it does suck for him because he does lose Snover here. Like, otherwise he would have just kept the Snover. Yeah, we're able to take out the Snover. In comes the Sandshrew to make the most of Hail. I thought I was going to Rapid Spin here, but I just decided to click Brick Break as he kills us. And reveals to be Life Orb, so I was like, okay. Which is good for us because if he can get some more chip on this, he will be in range of Spritzy Thunderbolt really quickly. So we have the end game of Scarf Abra or Trick Room Spritzy potentially being able to win. Here I decided to click Yawn to force the switch in so I could get in my Spritzy or Abra for the free Psychic. As luckily he only gets 2 hits of Icicle Spear, so I'm able to click a free knockoff here as he does go into the Nosepass. And here I don't really have like a play. He could click Rocks, he could click Volt or Rock Blast. As he does decide to click Rock Blast, but we do click knockoff, so he's chipped and low. In comes the Tailo. I decided to go Spritzy here rather than risk like Abra because it's Flame Arm, it definitely has quick attack, right? To not lose to the Abra or like break Sash if needed. And because he revealed to be Life Orb Sandshrew, he could definitely be Ice Shard as well. And there was an endgame where like if I went Abra here, he clicks Quick Attack as I kill him. gets me down really low to like 20-25%. And if he is Ice Shard Sandshrew, he just takes me out before I can kill him. And then if he clicks Iron Head on the Spritzy and flinches me, I'll lose. So I went for this win pot where Spritzy can just click the nice Trick Room, because we do live any hit from the Taillow, and then we can start doing some damage, right? Although there's obviously an endgame where he can double protect and we hopefully lose, but this way I thought at least Spritzy can kind of even the playing field so that Abra has less to do. As I Trick Room as he U-turns, this goes into Nose Pass, and this is why I choke. I don't know why, but I feared a 5-hit Rock Blast or Explosion really badly. But I should have realized, because the Sandshrew was at 60% after Rocks, I do not kill him with a neutral Thunderbolt, so I definitely need to Nasty Plot up to try and win. But I don't know why I got scared of the Explosion, and yeah, decided to just click Thunderbolt and take out the Nose Pass instead of like clicking Nasty Plot. If I had Draining Kiss, obviously Nasty Plot was the play, because I can, like, if he clicks Rock Blast, I can Draining Kiss and get back like 1 health or whatever, which can be huge, and then like, you know, Draining Kiss on the Taillow or whatever. Or if I had Draining Kiss here, I could just Draining Kiss here and be at a higher health to live the Iron Head Life Orb hit. But yeah, I do not click it and basically choke, because now I need a crit on this or a pair full para into a full para. As he clicks the Iron Head, yeah, and basically we lose at this point because Abra was Scarf, obviously, right? So it's slow, and even if it was Sash, it didn't really matter because, like, if he got 2 hits, it didn't really matter because I'm pretty sure the tail had quick attack, so he would just take us out after anyway. So yeah, I definitely choked at the end game there, and I did get lucky, but I don't think it mattered because I feel like the Spritzy end game comes out to be the same, right? But yeah, if I did plot with Spritzy, there is a way I can still lose, which is if he gets a double protect, I think, on Taillow, and then kills the Spritzy, I go Abra, I click Psychic or Fire Punch, whatever, to kill the Taillow, but he can quick attack, and if this had Ice Shard, which I don't know if it did, likely though, and I think it needed like Knock or Earthquake for the Chinchap, then I could have lost as well, but at least that way I would know, like, I didn't really have an out, or, you know, but yeah, definitely choked, and we did end up losing this week as well, so this was like the first setback we had in the season, so obviously you gotta work harder and, you know, make sure we don't choke after the 3-0 start. But yeah, I think this was still a fun game, and I guess if I got the 50-50 read right with Ekans, like if the Ekans was not Pyapa, or I was able to knock it off with the Dwebble instead of clicking Rocks, maybe the Stuffle could have just won on the spot. But like that Pyapa came in clutch for him, so yeah, props to him for their prep. But I think our prep was really good too, because I don't think this matchup was really good, but I tried my best. And because like I tried Rocky Helmet and Inviolate Stuffle, and it just wasn't doing enough. So yeah, first setback, but I don't think there's any shame in it because, you know, Inversify is a great player. So moving on, week 5, we're up against Evergrande Drakes, and I'm playing my buddy OGalbina, who was my captain season 2, and he's pulling up with a team of the horses in Galar Pony, Mudbray, Gossiflora, Mankey, Goldeen, Zorua. I believe they had a Trubbish, which I was surprised they benched because I thought it was really good. And something else I don't remember. And Rockruff, yeah, pretty scary team. And as for us, we are rocking up with the weakness policy unburdened Purloin, which is something I've been wanting to try for a long time. And we're running Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Gunk Shot, and Endure. The idea behind this is the Mankey is likely to be Scarf because he does need a Scarfer. Or, like, if the pony is Carmine, which is a huge threat, he'll be tempted to click Dazzling Gleam versus the Purloin because, you know, he might expect like a Thunderwave Prankster, but he can kill us and still be like healthy and or have like Aromatherapy, Gossiflora to keep the pony status free. But once we get the weakness policy off, everything dies too on this team. We have the Sucker Punch too, so that once we chip down the Zorua a little bit, +2 Sucker Punch will kill the Zorua, and even if he's faster, it doesn't matter because our Sucker Punch is faster, and if he tries to Sucker Punch, then like 2 Sucker Punches kill him. We did need the Gunk Shot for the Gossifleur because, believe me, this mon is so fat, it does not die to anything. I really wish it just died to Aerialist because I always have the I'm always scared of missing Gunk Shot because +2 Aerialist kills the Mankey really easily, but it did not kill the Gossifleur, so I had to put Gunk Shot just for this thing. But once I get it off and the Mudbray has been like killed or weakened, this thing just wins. +2 knock kills this, +2 gunk kills this, +2 gunk kills this, +2 knock kills this, +2 sucker punch does enough to this, where if he sucker punches, we survive and just kill him. And yeah, and we're faster than all the Scarfers too. So that's our win con basically. Also, it would be funny because our opponent has a habit of assuming sets or like only preparing for like standard sets, and I'm known for like my copycat purloin shenanigans with like prankster. So another unburdened set is something I don't expect my opponent like foreseeing, and should definitely put in the work. Next up we have Sash Abra with 4 attacks, Psychic, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, does pretty well here. We have Spritzy, Defensive, Wish Protect, Psychic, Moonblast. It does have some offensive investment so that Moonblast into Psychic kills the Trubbish while we still have the Gunk Shot. And this is our primary response to Pony, although Pony can kind of calm mind on us if he knows we're not nasty plots, so we have to be careful of that. Dwebble is also an interesting set here, which is Shell Smash, Knockoff, Solar Beam, Earthquake with the Power Herb. This is our dedicated lead. The Power Up Solar Beam is for the Mudbray, which lives any other hit from us otherwise. I don't know if he'll scout for it. Like I don't expect him to scout for it, so it might work out. Take out the Mudbray, and then obviously we do like a ton of damage to everything else. Although Sucker Punch will kill us after a while, and he can easily be Sash here because Gossifleur is a pretty good spinner. So I don't expect the Dwebble to just win off lead, but I do expect him to do some damage. Stuffle Scarf here because they don't have a normal resist, and I do expect to be able to weaken the Mudbray with Dwebble so that Stuffle can go ham in the endgame. So it's Scarf, Double Edge, Facade, Earthquake, Break, or Ice Punch. I believe it's Ice Punch. And if the Trubbish does set T-Spikes versus us because we don't have a grounded poison, then Facade just goes crazy. Double Edge does not kill stuff, but that extra 20 base power from Facade just does the trick and everything dies. So I was really hoping for Trubbish to come and him to set T-Spikes, thinking it was really good, but instead end up being his doom because Facade just goes crazy. It also lives a close combat from Mankey from full, so it's not even like he can go Mankey to revenge. Also, the difference in Facade and Double Edge is what kills a Pony. And lastly, we have Fizdef, Gossifleur with Spin, Giga Drain, Pull and Puff, Synth, I believe. It does eat hits from both Mankey and Mudbray, and that's basically its job, as well as keeping rocks off. So yeah, as I said, dedicated lead was Dwebble in this game. And yeah, let's jump into it. He leads with the Mankey. I would expect this to be either Scarf or Sash beat up to cover the Abra lead, but Mankey can't really do much to my Dwebble. I mean, I guess he can taunt, but once he taunts, he also reveals he's probably not Scarf, which kind of helps us because I can get a free knockoff anyway after. So yeah, I decided to just click Smash as he does click the U-turn, breaks his 30, and goes into Mudbray. Because he does live any hit from us if he's defensive. I just click the Solar Beam. I have no reason to overpredict as he does go Gossifleur. So yeah, he's scouted, really good play by him. And here I just click the knockoff because I already smashed. I'm not going to get a chance to smash again because I'm not Bear Juice. So I click the knockoff as he does go back into Mudbray and takes like a hell load of damage. So the scouting didn't really help him at all because the Mudbray is dead to the next knockoff. So the end result's the same, and all I basically know from that is the Gossifleur's to death, which I guess makes sense for Abra. But I do get the Mudbray off, and I'm going to get another Pokemon here because I do not die to the Sucker Punch yet. So not really sure if that was the best line of play because I do get the Mudbray anyway, so I don't know. If my opponent uploads, they can explain me. I have no idea. But yeah, as I click, oh, I didn't read this during the original game because I had the opponent muted. But yeah, basically, I don't know if the scouting helped him because the Mudbray died anyway. But anyway, he goes Goldie now. If it's defensive, it does live, as he does end up living. And he can take us out with Waterfall. But we basically did get 2 Pokemon with Dwebble, right? Which is epic. And here I just go Abra because I know he's not faster than me, and I just click the Shadow Ball. But he decides to save Goldeen, which is a good play, and the Gossifleur is revealed to be Spadef. A Violite, which is really annoying. This mon is so annoying. It has no right to be this annoying. I go into my own Gossifleur, scouting the Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, or Pull and Puff. And here I double into Spritzy because I know the Pull and Puff is not going to do anything. And it's decided to just fire off a free Moonblast just to see how much damage it would do, but it did. He connects with the Sleep Powder. I wasn't sure if he would like stay in or not because, you know, I could be like Plot or something. But he does click Sleep Powder, connects, and then here I really should have doubled, but I don't, so I kind of like goof around with my Spritzy. I guess I burn a turn of sleep, and then I just hope for the wake up as he clicks Knockoff. This Poison Jab doesn't kill me, so I just hope to wake up after 2 turns, but I don't. I get a little unlucky with the 3-turn sleep, and I basically lose my Spritzy for nothing. Not the end of the world, because I didn't need Spritzy to win, but I definitely goofed off by not doubling right after he put me to sleep. But here I can go into my Abra, and I just click Psychic this time, and take my kill. In comes the Pony. Kind of doesn't make sense for it to be Pony. Like, I should have clicked Dazzle, but it's probably Sash Zoro anyway, because my only hazards are Dwebble, and if I'm hazards and not smashed, then it's kind of like good. Like, you know, he keeps either I'm smashed and scary, or I'm setting hazards, which he can spin anyway with Gossifleur. So Sash Zoro would make a lot of sense. So I click Shadow Ball, but it turns out to be the Pony. So I guess a little bit of misplay. I could have clicked Dazzle into Shadow Ball. As he clicks the Knock, and here I make the play into Stuffle, expecting the Sucker Punch, as I do, and now I can click a free Double Edge as the Gossifleur comes in, but I like faster, so it doesn't matter, and I take out the Gossifleur. In comes the Mankey, and I can go into my Gossifleur as he does click the CC. And here I believe I just clicked the Giga Drain. Yeah, don't do a lot, so this is a Violet Pony. And I go hard into Abra, expecting like Carmine. Or if he attacked, I get the sack and I get my free Purloin. But I go Abra, as he does swap, because I just risked the speed tie here. Because if he won it, I was going to go into my Purloin and click Endure anyway. Yeah, I click the Shadow Ball, and then the Zoro comes in. This time I decided to click Dazzle in case he clicks Knockoff. But he clicks the Sucker, but it's not the end of the world because I can go into Stuffle and pick my kill again with Double Edge. In comes the Mankey, and I go back into Gossifleur as he CCs, and it only does 39. And this time I make the hard read and click Pull and Puff, expecting the swap. And now I go into Purloin, expecting the Morning Sun. And here, kind of choked a little bit. I should have clicked Endure just to be safe, because crit did kill me, as you can see. But then I could claim hacks, right? So, but yeah, I just clicked Knockoff. As I am weakness policy, that crit did not matter. This thing was dead like 2 times. And here, again, I can click Gunk and win the game, but I don't potentially want to lose to like crits or something. So I just click Knockoff to be safe, because then Stuffle will win. So yeah, I just click Knockoff, and now I can go into my Scarf Stuffle and win. So yeah, pretty comfortable 2-0 win, even though I like goofed around with my Spritzy and gave it away for no reason. Yeah, this is pretty comfortable as can be, I think. We played pretty well, pretty good prep. And again, the Purloin went in, which is, you know, what we like to see. I believe we won this week 5-2, so, you know, got back on track 4-1. I believe we needed just one more series win to qualify or have some other results go our way. So, you know, almost there. The first time I was going to make playoffs, or my team was going to make playoffs. So, yeah, let's jump. And currently our record is 4-1, which is, you know, pretty... Oh, sorry, 3-1 because we subbed out, which is still, like, pretty good after... I hadn't played Outseas in like 15 or 16 months. The last time I played was for the last tour. So, yeah, let's jump into week 6, where, as you can see on the screen, there's some standard mons here, right? So yeah, basically for week 6, our captains decided to try me out in standard, so the other LC guy, because the usually I was a fixed slot and my other two teammates were being rotated, but FireFin the goat was doing so well that they wanted to play him, but also Ollie, who was the other LC player. So basically, they asked if I was fine playing standard, and obviously, I'm not gonna say no to a team request. So I was like, sure. But I don't really like our standard drafts, and I don't really like Mega Glade and Aethlon, but this was like our best standard draft, I think. So I just picked it, and of course, I end up facing my boy Rillaboom, my monkey, which was really annoying because as you see my team, Rillaboom destroys 5 of my mons. It's only Skarmory, but the issue is you turn on the Skarmory and he has 2 mons that are so annoying for Skarmory. So this matchup was such a pain. Anyway, he has a team of Mega Scizor, Victini, Comfey, Rillaboom, Seismitoad, Thundurus. They had an Alolan Golem and what's the other mod? I don't remember the other mod, but they had an Alolan Golem which would potentially trap this Skarmory, but not really. As for us, we're pulling up with Rocky Helmet, Rocks, 3 attacks, Camel. The third attack was Nature Power and Stab. Fizz Def with like the Scizor plus Victini. Boot Zera with 4 attacks, Knockoff, Fire Punch, Plasma Fists, Grass Knot. Very bulky Glade with Sword Stance, Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Shadow Sneak. It lived a lot of hits because it was super bulky and then just Drain Punched it all back. Rocky Helmet's Skarmory with Body Press, Brave Bird, Toxic, and Roost. Calm Mind, Rindoberry, Offensive, Tapu Fini with 3 attacks, Moonblast, Surf, Ice Beam, I believe. And then Eject Button, Audina with Wish, Healing Wish, Encore, and Flamethrower. The Healing Wish was just Mega Glade, which I thought was my best mod in this matchup, but it did get revenge pretty easily, which was not fun. So I thought I could be a little reckless with him and then bring him back and then hopefully win the game, because honestly, Rillaboom was terrifying. Choice Band goes crazy. SD Protective Pads goes crazy. Yeah, like Rillaboom's just broken. So and which is why I wanted him on our team, but we didn't get one. Anyway, yeah, let's jump into the match. My dedicated lead was Mega Glade because I do live a hit from any mon, except like Final Gambit Victini, which I would swap on. So yeah. So I lead Glade as they do lead Seismitoad, and here hoping they just click rocks, I go for the hard SD. As the click's called, and luckily we don't get burned, so I was like, okay. And here I click Poison Jab expecting the Rocky Helmet Comfey, because if I click Poison Jab on the Comfey as it switches in, it dies, and I don't take the helmet, I take the helmet chip, but I stay out of range of like a lot of hits, so I can like Drain Punch back later. Like if I clicked any other move into Comfey, then I would take the Rocky Helmet, and then I would have to take the Draining Kiss and another round of Helmet while I have to jab, so it's like I'd be a lot lower if rather than just clicking hard jab. But he goes Scizor, which was really interesting, so I click the Drain Punch here. As he clicks Bullet Punch, he is offensive, but we are bulky, so we eat and we go up to a good amount of health. And here I can Drain Punch again, and we end up around where we would if Comfey was Helmet, so I guess it didn't really work out. But that's fine. In comes the Thundy. This could be foul play, so I just swap into Camel as he distributes the foul play. And here I click Rocks thinking this would swap, but he clicks Grass Knot. It did so much damage, and I was like, man, this one's broken. But here, I thought he would just kill me, so I just went for the Lava Plume. As he goes Seismitoad, and we get a burn. Just kind of clutch. Doesn't really matter, though. And here I go Hard Glade as he clicks Rocks again. And this time I just click the raw Drain Punch to get some health back. But this time he's called and does get the burn, which is a little unfortunate. And now he can go into Rillaboom, which is not Boots. As I click Drain Punch, get some health back, and the train helps as well. And here not wanting like an SD or whatever. So I go into Skarmory as he clicks the knockoff and reveals to be pads because he doesn't take helmet. And I believe I just fired off the free Toxic. Yeah, I fired off the Toxic as the Victini comes in, and I believe I sacked the Camel this turn because the Scizor is gone. But he makes a really good play and clicks Future Sight, so basically he gets the kill here and a Future Sight in the air. As he clicks Blue Flare, crit didn't matter, I died easily. And here it's a little annoying because I want to go Adino, but the future sight in the air is a little annoying. So I go into my Feeny and I click Surf, but he has the Seismitoad around and he eats it up, I guess. So it was a really good play by him to preserve it. And here I click Moonblast, hoping he, because he did reveal to be like a little Fizz Death, but the Moonblast doesn't kill and he's able to knock off, but the Seismitoad is gone, which is good for us. In comes the Thundy, and I go into my odd note to get the eject button. And I believe I go into Zera, because the Seismitoad is gone now, I can click a free knockoff. As he clicks Foul Play, it doesn't do a lot, I thought it would do more, but we're able to just take out the Thundy. In comes the Rillaboom, we do die to Glide now, so I go into my odd note thinking I would live, but or actually, I think I was trying to hope he U-turned, but he does glide. And it is a roll to kill, so I go into my Skarmory now as he glides again. And I believe I roosted here, or did I Brave Bird? I think I roosted. Yeah, I roost, and then I decide to sack off Feeny, which, because it has lost its Rindo Berry, is going to be, useless. But I guess I could have saved it for preserving terrain, but I didn't really have a Grassy Glide switch in, so I decided to just sack off Feeny. I guess I could have gone Skarmory, but I guess if he U-turned, I was in the same spot. But I used this opportunity to go into my odd note and just Healing Wish the Glade back up. But here, expecting an SD, because even if I SD, I thought him SDing also was a problem. So I go into Skarmory, and I believe I just Brave Bird here. Yeah, Brave Bird here, just to get some chip on the Victini to put it in Shadow Sneak range. But he's able to Blue Flare and take us out, and I didn't really have a play there. I guess I could have sacked Zera, but I thought, he's still good for like Comfey if it is Calm Mind. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure that's like, it could be Grassy Seed, Calm Mind, Comfey. And here I Fire Punch, but he does reveal the SD, and this is GG, because Zera dies, and I believe Glade might have been a roll. Actually, I'm not sure. I know we lived Banded Glide, but I don't know how much +2 Glide. It probably wasn't a roll. So yeah, GG. I think maybe I choked by not SDing with the Glade when I Healing Wished it up, but I don't remember this +2 Glide roll, right? So if we died and he clicked, because he lived any hit from us anyway, so +2 Glide, if it killed the Glade, we'd have been in a losing spot anyway. And even if I did kill him, I guess the Comfey would just Draining Kiss and then kind of win, I think, with Calm Mind if it was Grassy Seed. I believe it was Calm Mind, Taunt, Draining Kiss or something. So we might have ended up losing anyway, but yeah, kind of a rough one. Rillaboom was really rough. And so our standard debut in Clash doesn't really go as well. Not as good as our DPL standard debut, obviously. But we kind of ended up trolling this week as well. I believe we were 3-0 up and then ended up getting reversed to 3-4, which made our playoff hopes a little like precarious because I believe we needed to win the week. Otherwise, we had a good shot of getting eliminated because if somehow we ended up in a 3-way tie with the other two teams, we were the ones who would come out worse. Yeah, so definitely, because I was hoping for a rest week 7 because we had finals and another team tour, but I had to kind of play week 7 as well versus the Speed Boosters and Spoink. And guess what? We have a Spoink versus Spoink. This should be fun, right? So yeah, we definitely needed to win this week while the Speed Boosters were clean, so we were hoping they would not be tryharding as much in case they had to rematch us for playoff. But obviously they do want to win to secure like first seed so they can pick the formats for playoffs. So yeah, anyway, let's jump into this matchup as well. They have a Pan Sage, the GOAT, the Goated Monkey and LC, Starly, Magnemite, Pancham, Kabuto, Abra. They also had something scary, which I cannot remember at the moment. Maybe I can check it out. Where's the Speed Boosters? Oh, they had an Ekans too. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. And as for us, we are rocking up with the Life Orb Wingull, Choice Scarf Spoink, The Wingle had Tailwind too. Choice card Spoink, which is Psychic, Shadow Ball, Icy Wind, Trick. DD, Eviolite, Scraggy with Stabs and Dual Chop for the Sash Abra. A Violet as well, and Shatskin for the Ekans Glare. Sandshrew with Bear Juice for attacks, I believe. Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Leech Life, Knockoff. Screens Voltorb with Light Clay, and then Eviolite, Spadef, Turtwig with Rocks, and Bullet Seed Earth Power. I did not build this team, by the way. This was built by Tiro, so all credits to him. I didn't really feel like building with this team because I was kind of lost. And I kind of used up 2 Bear Juices, and then I didn't know what to do. And my build had like Jaboka Thief, which I thought was not very good, so I just asked Tiro to build, who is a sweetheart for building this team. So yeah, huge props to him. And as for leads, I believe I just led Wingle. No, I just led Voltorb, because they had a Gibble too, and they didn't bring the Gibble, so like Volt Switch was free, so I decided to just lead Voltorb and get up my screens. So yeah, let's just jump into it. I lead Voltorb as the lead Kabuto. If they are like, if I like, or Badger's Kabuto, they actually live hits from Voltorb, so I click Reflect as the click Rocks, which is a fair play. And here in comes the Pansage. I don't really want to get knocked, so I just Volt out into Wingle. Actually, sorry. Here, I just click Volt as the Pansage comes in, and here, I don't really have a way of pressuring this outright other than Wingle, so I go into Wingle. And I believe I just clicked Air Slash as the Magnemite comes in. And here, scouting for Scarf, I go into Sandshrew as he clicks Endure, which is fine. And here, I decide to just Rapid Spin, thinking he wouldn't give me this because, you know, he has to play into Pancham or Pansage, but he just stays in and gets me with the Steel Beam, but goes back to full, so that was really, like, you know, well done by him. And here, I just decide to click Rocks. And he clicks Steel Beam again, and it does so much damage, even though we're like max def. And here I decided to just go Voltorb, as he does Steel Beam, but our screens are up, so there's not, like, I didn't play this very well, and he definitely got me with the Magnemite, basically taking out 2 Mons, because Sandshrew and then half of Voltorb and half of Turtwig, and the screens are gone, so yeah, Spoink's really getting me here with the aggro plays. In comes Starly. I just clicked Reflect, I believe, as he reads to be Scarf and takes us out with Brave Bird. And at this point, I'm like, okay, my only play actually was to go into Spoink and win the speed tie. Otherwise, I think I'll lose on the spot, but Spoink's the GOAT, and maybe Spoink just really wanted to beat Spoink. In comes the Abra, so I go into Turtwig. I don't really need him anymore, because, yeah, I didn't really need him. I didn't have another play anyway. And now going to Spoink to break the Sash, so expecting him to swap, I click Psychic as the Pansage comes in, and we're able to take him out. Instead of him getting his Berry Juice and going back to full. And now I go back into the Abra comes out again because he knows I'm Scarf. He goes in expecting the Shadow Ball. I go into Scraggy and then double back into Spoink on the Dazzle. But he reads to be Energy Ball, so I was like, okay, interesting. Because Shadow Ball also seemed pretty free, but I guess yeah. But this time I click Shadow Ball, and I get a little lucky because I get the Speed F drop on the Kabuto, which means I kill him with the next, which really helps me. And here I go into Scraggy expecting the knockoff, but he makes a really good play again and clicks Drain Punch and gets me. And I don't kill him with the Psychic with Spoink, so I'm forced to go into Wingle and click Air Slash. But he clicks knockoff and we do live, so I guess I choked by not going into Wingle on the Pancham, but I thought knockoff killed. But I guess he is a little more defensive, because obviously the Air Slash is super effective and Life Orb, and it only did 78. But now I can click the Freeze Called and take him out, no risk of missing. In comes the Abra. This is on a speed tie. This one we lose. If we did win this speed tie, we would guaranteed like 1, because we were Scar's Point. But I really wish I had Quick Attack, because I was debating Quick Attack at the end over Tailwind, but I thought maybe Tailwind could be cool to like free up Scraggy a little bit. But yeah, we lose the speed tie, and I'm like, okay, please don't be Shadow Ball. And I click Shadow Ball, and I believe I didn't see like the next. I was like, okay, I lived because he didn't have Shadow Ball. And Spoink's able to beat Spoink, and I believe Spoink got 4 kills. It killed the Pansage, Starly, Kabuto, and the Abra. Yeah, 4 kills. which is really funny. I wasn't sure if it had Shadow Ball at the time, and obviously they didn't want to reveal. Also, more to keep me like paranoid if it had Shadow Ball or not, because obviously it could be like Spoink didn't want to kill Spoink. Um, but yeah, this win was huge because obviously we ended up winning the week and making playoffs, and actually because of how well we won, we ended up making first seed. And for those who don't know, first seed is cursed in DPL, but not really in Clash, because the last 2 seasons the first seed teams have won. And there we have it. Your boy has made playoffs in Clash of Kings for the very first time. I told Tiro this, who is the owner of the league, that if I do not make playoffs this time, I would never return because I would just accept I'm cursed. Because I've actually never won in any APA event. I've taken part in a lot of leagues and tours, and I either do not make playoffs or I get hacked in playoffs when I do make it. So, I was just willing to accept I was cursed and never try, because obviously curses are too strong, right? But yeah, we do end up making playoffs for the first time, and it was really hyped. And I was hoping we could go all the way. There's also another good omen, which is this was season 4 of Clash of Kings, and the other tours I've won, which were DPL, the season I won was season 4, TDT was also season 4, PGP, which was what I was competing in at the same time as Clash of Kings, was also season 4 when I was finally able to win it. So it's like, this is all lining up, season 4 of Clash of Kings, and maybe this is the season. So yeah, let's just jump into our playoffs round 1 matchup, where we're facing the Evergrande Drakes again, who pulled a miraculous 6-1 win in their last week to clinch playoffs by 1 game, which is really well done to them. Like, if they lost 2 games, like if they would be out, but they managed to pull the 6-1 off and get the 4th seed. So yeah, this is a rematch, but with a different player in Legits, who's having a good season. But for those who don't know, there's a lot of backstory here. There's a lot of beef with Legits and myself, with him accusing me of cheating in season 1 wrongly. Of course, I don't cheat, even though he did get banned for cheating from DPL. And then season 2, we had this thing where I was awarded a forfeit win, but he cried and got them to reschedule, and I had to play him on a Sunday, and then he hacked me and I lost. And he ran Tri-Attack Abra and paralyzed my Stunky, and it was, the whole thing. So this is, we also played him season 1 where he beat me fair and square. So yeah, this is like round 3. Obviously I want to beat him because, last time I got cheesed out of my win, which obviously I wanted to win. But it's definitely harder for us because I revealed my entire team the last time. As you saw, the weakness policy Purloin, the power herb solar beam Dwebble. So I revealed a lot of my best prep already, but he gets to come in with like a fresh perspective because, he didn't play the matchup last time. So yeah, we definitely have a work cut out for us, and I decided to change up the team. Not too much, but definitely things I could see him. Because this time I expected Sash, Zorua, or Sash stuff for sure, given my only Hazard is Dwebble, and I felt like he would pick on that. And I definitely expected the Trubbish to come this time, and expected a bench of Goldeen, making the hard read that Chinchou wouldn't come. But I was a little surprised to see the Galar Pony dropped instead, which I thought was really good here. But I guess you need the Goldeen for the Dwebble as extra insurance, which is fair. As for myself, I decided to change up the Abra. I dropped the Dazzle for Thunderwave because I thought Thunderwave was a better neutral click versus Pony or Zorua situations, because if I do get the Mankey or Zorua or Pony paralyzed, it's really good for my Stuffle. As for Dwebble, I went back to Bearjuice, but I kept the Smash and Knockoff and Earthquake, but I just replaced the Solar Beam with Spikes, because I thought breaking sashes were important here. So, and also by being Bearjuice, it let me use my Dwebble a little later rather than just Smash on lead, which obviously is something he'll prep for. I changed my Purloin from the weakness policy set to, even though I didn't reveal Endure, I was like, I'm pretty sure they expect the Endure, right? So I made him a more defensive Bearjuice Prankster set with Encore. This was so that I can go hard into it on the Pony If he clicks Calm Mind or Dazzle, if he clicks Dazzle, we eat it and go back to full, and then we can knock off for free. And if he clicks Calm Mind, we can just Encore that, which is pretty epic. We are Knockoff, U-Turn, Encore, and Copycat on the set. Of course, Knockoff Copycat is also definitely a win con, because if Mankey kills something with close combat, and if I Copycat, he dies, because the Mankey is, pretty frail. So, yeah. Also, Bear Juice let me, potentially beat the Zorua later if needed, because I could be healthier. We have Scarf Stuffle again, but this time I'm just Brick Break in case he decides to bring screens. I didn't really think I needed Ice Punch for the Mudbray. The Spritzy was changed to be a lead Spritzy with Nasty Plot, Psychic, Moonblast, and Draining Kiss. The plan was that if Mankey or Zorua lead, I can always click Moonblast into Psychic to take out the Trubbish. But if Goldeen comes, I expected a Goldeen lead. Because seeing no Chincha, I feel like Goldeen is the best lead because you can just knock off or be like Sash, knock off Flip Turn or something. And it just leads really nicely versus like the Dwebble and stuff, right? Or even Bear Juice or whatever. And you get a free knockoff on things and stuff. So I thought Spritzy was really good to take advantage of that, because obviously we live a Poison Jab after our Violet has been knocked off. I can plop Moonblast, Draining Kiss, Psychic, and just start putting pressure and try to trade 1-for-1 with like my Spritzy versus whatever they have. And then Gossifleur is the same set as last time, because obviously I needed for Mudbray as well as Mankey. So yeah, as I said, I was going to lead Spritzy, and let's just jump into the battle. He leads with the Mankey. Of course, this could be Zorua, so I just click Moonblast expecting the Trubbish pivot. But he clicks the Gunk, gets the high-ish roll, and the poison, because, he's legit. He's always going to hack me. There's no other thing about it. As he does reveal to be Sash, which also made me think the Zorua was Sash instantly, because it just makes sense that way. Kind of wish I clicked Draining Kiss, and then he'd be in a lot of trouble. Or if I was Trick Room right here, and I click Draining Kiss back, he would also be in trouble. But at this point, I don't really have a swap for Gunk, so I just decided to give him this. And go into my Abra, and I believe I clicked the Energy Ball to cover like the Zorua, but he goes to Gossifleur, so good play by him. I go into my own Gossifleur as he clicks the Pull and Puff. Does 43, so I wasn't sure if this was like a max roll or he was just invested. I think it was invested, because unless he is super lucky and got 2 max rolls in a row, which could be a thing, because, but there I felt like I wasn't really winning, so I decided to go into Purloin. As he Pull and Puffs, we eat and go back to full, because there was no pony. I could afford to be a little more, liberal with my Purloin. And here I get a free knockoff. Nothing really wants to take it. He could go Trubbish, but if I do U-turn into Abra, he's in trouble for sure. So I decided to just click knockoff. If he did go Trubbish, I was just gonna U-turn into my Dwebble. In comes the Mudbray. I decided to just knock this off as well, because it helps my Stuffle end game later. As he clicks the Body Slam and crits my Purloin. Now, there's no reason for Body Slam in this matchup, right? The only reason you're running it is to get the paralysis. And this is just a legit thing. This is the same thing as Try Attack Abra, and oh my god, and he crit me too. I'm just lucky I didn't get paralyzed, but holy moly, man. I'm just laughing, right? Oh my god, it's whatever. Now I can go into, I just U-turn into my Gossifleur, I believe. As he clicks the Heavy Slam this time, right. And here I Giga Drain as he does set up the rocks, which is fine, because in comes the Trubbish, and I do live this Gunk Shot hit, but it is legit, so he does crit me, and I'm not able to spin these rocks away, which is a little annoying because I can't use my Dwebble as well as I want, and I can't go into Dwebble now, because if he is Rock Blast, and gets 5 hits, I can lose. So that was not really fun. I go into Abra, because, I am Sash. So I click the free Psychic as he goes Gossifleur, and this time I decide to just click Psychic back. As he clicks Pull and Puff, and here I make the Energy Ball play expecting the Zorua, but he makes the Trubbish play, and I don't really get that, because I obviously could have clicked Psychic again, which probably in hindsight was the better play, because I didn't have Dazzle anyway, so I should have just clicked Thunder Wave after and then get the Zorua, and then I could swap if needed. But he makes a really risky play. I guess it works out, so good for him. But then he clicks Rock Blast and he reveals to be Scarf Trubbish, which is a cool break. But misses. But obviously, I'm not gonna have sympathy because he had the Body Slam Mudbray and he did crit my Gossifleur. So he misses and we take the kill, which is epic, right? In comes the Goldeen. I actually wasn't sure if this was Goldeen or Zorua. I debated clicking Thunderwave, but if it was Goldeen, that would be bad. So I decided to just click Energy Ball to kind of chip this down for Stuffle. But he used to be the Zorua, so I go into my Stuffle now to click the Double Edge, and I thought I was going to claim, but he is a pretty defensive Goldeen. So obviously he's going to kill me here, so I go into my Dwebble. As he clicks the freest knockoff, and here I click the Earthquake because I wanted chip damage on the Goldeen so that I could win with Double Edge spam. As he goes Zorua and takes a lot, and here expecting the Sucker Punch, I click Spike, but he reveals to be slower, and clicks the knockoff, gets the crit. I don't think this one mattered. Maybe it did if he was like not max attack, maybe? I don't think it did though. But here I can go back into my Stuffle and Double Edge. Yeah, take it out. In comes the Goldeen. And I click Double Edge, thinking maybe I could win with the Purloin, right? If I have, because he doesn't know my set, so I could maybe win the Sucker Game Mind Punch, Sucker Punch Mind Games. Oh my god, I can't talk. And potentially win because my Purloin and Dwebble hit the same speed, and my Dwebble went first, so at worst it's a speed tie. So potentially, and maybe if he thinks I have Sucker Punch and he doesn't click it. But yeah, I click Double Edge, I do get the crit. Again, if he didn't crit my Purloin, I would have won anyway. So I'm not gonna feel bad. It was kind of deserved in my opinion. Yeah, in comes the Zorua and he can't kill me with Sucker Punch, so I kill and get the win 2-0 over legit. I know they were really coping about hacks, but he did crit my Gossifleur, which would have spun the rocks away, which makes my Dwebble a lot scarier. Because you saw that Dwebble without Smash put in so much work. If it actually got to Smash, it would have put in way more work. So, I don't know. And he did crit my Purloin too, which obviously if it was healthier is also like really good. So yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I put this replay in a replay analyzer and it said he hacks me. So I didn't do the math. The thing did the math and he said they hacked me. So yeah, and if anything, it's karma for 2 seasons ago. So again, I'm not really sorry. Unfortunately though, a couple of my teammates choked, which I mean it's fine because they had a great season. And we ended up losing, so we did get eliminated round 1 of playoffs, which is a little unfortunate. But, you know, things happen. Somebody has to lose and whenever you play a game. And unfortunately it was us, but I'm glad I was able to make playoffs for the first time. It's a different feeling playing in a playoff game, and obviously I was able to fix my all-time record, which I can quickly show now. Actually, go up into standings, and yeah, we ended up 5th overall for the Little Cup race, which I think is pretty good, or tied 4th, I guess, because differential doesn't really matter. And we played like 2 people in the top 5 and the 6th best players, so like we definitely had a pretty good schedule as well, so some pretty good games. What did we end up overall? Ended up 15th overall, which I mean 15 is my favorite number, so you know, there we go. And definitely fixed my all-time record because now I'm in top 8 and I'm finally positive, because before this in Clash I was kind of cursed. Yeah, I wasn't positive. I believe I was 6 and 7 before the season started, and now we're 11 and 9, I believe. Yeah, which is, you know, finally fixed that. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe in the future, maybe we can finally get our Clash chip, the one missing from, you know, my arsenal. But yeah, I have fun. Hopefully you guys have fun with some of the creative prep, because we did have a lot. Like, we had the Unburdened Purloin this week. I mean, we did have Psychic Train, but we didn't get to show it off. But using Unburdened Purloin for the first time, what do we have here? We have the Stockpile Sword Stance Dirt Wig, the Meteor Beam Ammonite with weak armor, the Adrenaline Orb Stuffle, which unfortunately didn't pop off because of a well-timed Payapa Berry. What did we have here? The Power Herb Solar Beam. Oh, and the Weakness Policy and Burden. So a lot of unburdened Purloins for a change because, as I said, I'm known for my copycat prankster Purloins. And this didn't really have anything because Joe made this. And then, do we have anything fun here? Not really. So I guess our semis was kind of boring prep, but we did win 2-0, so we take that over a good player. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if I'm going to actually upload this, but I decided to record it, and if it does go up, then that means, hey, I did decide to upload it. But as I said, I only uploaded because I got bored, and decided to record. I'm also going to record my LDI run, and I don't know if I'll post it, but if I do, you guys are the real ones for staying so long and watching this. And thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye.